The Indian Nations Council of Governments, MPO, or INCOG, played a key role in the implementation of the Gilcrease Expressway project in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The project will complete a 6-mile gap in the expressway, improve access and safety to the regional port, and alleviate congestion near Tulsa's central business district. The MPO has pledged $6 million per year for 15 years from their anticipated future Surface Transportation Program funds, which has helped to capitalize $71 million worth of GARVEE bonds issued by the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. INCOG's commitment of funds and ODOT's position as the debt issuer provided long-term stability for the project. This project is unique in that an MPO pledged future federal aid allocations back to the DOT to secure a GARVEE-backed bond issuance, making INCOG an example of a GARVEE subrecipient. GARVEE bonds represented about 20% of the total project funds. Rich Briere, Executive Director at INCOG, will tell us more about the importance of early coordination and how committing project funding set a powerful signal of support for the project to their partners. Early coordination in the planning phase was a key element of the Gilcrease Expressway project's success. Can you explain how initial coordination began?
We have had a long-standing, excellent working relationship between our MPO and our partner, ODOT. We've worked together on many projects and issues over the years. We don't always agree, but we try to find that common ground, the win-win, to solve problems. And we're not afraid to be creative and innovative. And we interact with our state officials at all levels. Early coordination was extremely important. In our case, the project was actually identified on the region's expressway plan more than 50 years ago. It was a remaining unfunded portion of the Metropolitan Expressway system. So major portions of the corridor were built over many decades, but a 5-mile gap, including a major river crossing, remained largely unfunded. So over the years, our local partners, the City of Tulsa and Tulsa County, have secured much of the right-of-way, completed functional plans, and completed an environmental assessment, and our state DOT was involved in much of that work. Yet we had a gap of funding, and it took all of us working together in a coordinated fashion to address that as a part of this financing package.
How did you work with ODOT to create a complementary financing option for the project?
We had been putting a significant amount of money on an annual basis into connecting portions of the corridor over several decades. So I think the region saw this as an opportunity to complete the project in a timely fashion by making this long-term pledge that basically was at the same dollar amount that we were putting in annually, but this is something that could see the project completed in the very near term. Securing sufficient funding to complete the project took many partners, not only ODOT, but our state turnpike authority as well. The authority was considering a major funding initiative called Driving Forward, and initially proposed to fund the toll bridge as part of that package, but not the full 5-mile corridor project. Developing the full funding package required layered financing involving numerous funding sources, including not only the GARVEE bonds, but TIFIA, the first TIFIA project in Oklahoma, tolling, and a public-private financing model.
Have you experienced any unique challenges utilizing GARVEE financing? How did you address them?
GARVEE financing, layered with other sources, including toll revenue and TIFIA, did add complexity. With respect to GARVEE financing, the fact that ODOT had experience using GARVEE financing previously was definitely a help. What's unusual in this case is the GARVEE financing involved the pledge of sub-allocated STP block grant funds to the MPO rather than funds that simply were allocated to the state. So the other thing that was unusual about this was that this was a commitment for a 15-year period of time, which is longer than many other GARVEE programs. But at the end of the day, bonds proved to be very marketable, and the GARVEE revenue through the grant anticipation notes was secured for the project.